It's also the return of my mic stand. These were on a shelf over there. So now I have brought them all over here. Sorry, let me open the queue. The queue was open. Hello. Yes, hello. It's nice to meet you, Liz LaFay. For the longest time, I just had my Rider-Waite deck. And then in recent years, I have gotten a lot more. Let me adjust the camera. Oh, which deck do you have, Lay? That's coming in the mail. And that's awesome that you had the same first deck. Alright, there we are, my little guy. Oh, that's very nice for your 22nd birthday. Nice gift. And you finally got the Venus Morningstar Tarot. That's awesome. I'm like stacking all my decks all over the place. Okay. They're all mostly not in the way now. It looks like I have so much more table space. Even though the oh, actually no, the camera might be actually a bit more further back than I had it. So I could actually make this bigger. So that you may be able to see, the cards better. Yeah. Hydrate. I got my big bottle. Let's hydrate. Wow, 10 years is a very significant amount of time to be practicing tarot, which is awesome. For me, it's been about 6 years. There's our Haniel moment. Where's actual Haniel? See, when I don't want her here, she's coming all over. And then when we do want her on camera, she is not here. Currently on the bus, you'll rejoin when you get home. No worries, Viv. Okay, let's look at this queue. I believe it's Daisy first. I think that's Daisy. Let me know what reading you would like and which deck you would like me to use. Another Haniel moment. Okay, she was like scrunching away from me as I was trying to pick her up. So she'll come up when she wants to come up. Also, thank you. I'm glad you loved my Bastets video. Ever since I saw that statue, I really wanted it. And I'm happy I got one that wasn't... Well, actually, it was like at a better price because I bought it like directly from the shop rather than from another shop, if that makes sense. Haniel, the fans love you. You need to come see everyone. We've got all free pictures of Haniel and no actual Haniel. Nope, she's still being shy. I'm sure we'll see her. Oh, there we go. Puffer Kitty. Don't show your butt to the camera, come on. Maldin. Okay, Haniel, don't nudge the decks off the table. Yes, everyone say hi, Puffer Kitty. Alright, a reading with Lord Aries. Yeah, butt cam, I guess. All right. Is Aries a newer deity in your practice, or has he been around for a little while? I'm sort of wanting to see if this Two of Wands is more about your actual path. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I'm also going to have to put cream on my hands in a second, but I'll do it after this reading because they're dry. Alright, so we are starting off with the Two of Wands, which definitely makes sense for recently connecting with him, or recently feeling connected with him, because it does indicate a beginning of a journey, and sort of at the stage of planning and seeing, you know, where your expectations lie, what your plans are, where you want to go from here, and like looking out at the horizon. It's a great card to, I think, indicate that he's also feeling he's coming through with very similar resonance with that, how it's the beginning of a journey for the two of you, and how there may be some more exploration involved to see where you'd want to go, though it's definitely an open path of growth for you. Something that was really funny when I was shuffling the cards for Aries is that it was sort of like he was in gym clothing, if that makes sense. Like he was wearing like shorts and like a singlet and like a headband, like you go into the gym. And I think that relates really funnily to the King of Pentacles. Also, hello, Charlie. Because the King of Pentacles here is a representation of something that you two might be working on together, which is really interesting. A lot of the time when we work, when people talk about working with deities or building relationships with them, there's a lot of this spiritual aspect to it, in the sense of spiritual development, mental development, shadow work, and things like that. But this card actually is about gaining an authority in terms of your material self, And that can include, for example, exercise and keeping a healthy lifestyle, like he was showing, but also things such as how you spend your time, where you set your boundaries, where you're spending your money, or what your plans for money are, and having a healthy relationship with the things that you're doing in your material world, your physical world, that help to ground you and also allow you to take ownership and leadership over what you're doing. I think that pairs really well as well with temperance, our card of balance, of moderation, and, you know, seeing these together, finding moderation in things. So the cups, of course, which temperance isn't a of the cup suit, but does depict cups on it. Cups are a very emotional, heart-based suit. They connect quite closely with the emotional side of things. And so I'd even say it's this sort of balance and even a new perspective on how your emotions play into your physical and how your physical plays into your emotions. A lot of the time, or I don't know if there's a measure to it, but sometimes when it comes to our mental and how we may feel on a certain day or continuously, that might actually in a way adjust depending on your level of engagement with your physical self, how you eat, how you move. You know, you don't have to start like a full-on routine or anything and be like a bodybuilder or go on a diet. That's not the sort of thing that's coming through, but there can be like smaller changes that can help you feel better and present within your physical self, and that will definitely benefit your spiritual and mental self as well. It's a very holistic view that he's coming through with. And as Charlie just mentioned, they say that he has a big thing for King of Pentacles representing Aries. That's cool. But yeah, that is your reading with Aries. Well, that works out very well. It looks like he's on the same page. Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome. And best of luck with your path with Aries. It sounds great. It's going to be good. And yeah, there's definitely a reason why you feel connected with him, I think, for these new lessons and new pathway. Alright. I almost pressed the randomize button instead of the arrow, which would have randomized everyone on the queue. Hydrate again. I will hydrate in a second here after I put some cream on. Also, I didn't say it, but the bot said it. Oh yes. General message with Hecate and Oracle deck. The Oracle of the Hecatean Path. Okay, cool. I need to double check something quickly. I don't know if I uploaded the previous video as a VOD, and I probably should check that so then it doesn't expire. So let me quickly get that up. I last streamed on the 14th. Oh, okay. They must have changed how long it takes to expire because it says in 7 days, so I'll upload it tomorrow or something. Alright. Ah, 14 days for affiliate. I didn't even realize. Well, that's really handy. Usually I was just downloading them anyway, like the day after, but that makes it even better. I'm surprised I hadn't noticed for that long either. Oh, you're okay, Charlie. It's okay. I was wondering where you went. But yeah, internet dying is not fun. I'm gonna keep going on about this, but it's so nice to have the mic stand back because I don't have to crane my neck or have my boxes of things here. And so the setup looks nicer. Alright, a general message with Hecate for Luca. For a second there, I thought you got Inali again, but you didn't. Which is fine. Okay, we have a very interesting set of cards here, so I'll show you them first. We have the Clothae, which is the spinner of Fate's Destiny. We also have here Psychopomp, Soul Guide, Transition. Shiny Handcuffs Cream. And then we actually have the card Hermes, Messages. Look at Hermes. Yay. I do think it's very funny when other deities come up in readings with Hecate and her deck. What I find particularly interesting as well is how prevalent or like how strong of a theme all these cards have with chthonic side of things, the chthonic side of things, or like the underworld, without it explicitly being about the underworld, right? Because yeah, with Psychopomp, it's like this guide of souls, and Hermes is also a guide of souls, and I feel like Fates as well can be seen as a chthonic thing sometimes. It can, you know, the Free Fates is also, in a way, I don't know if like strongly, but at least maybe in a UPG sort of way, it's like the Trio of Fates. It's like a trio. It reminds me of the Furies in a way. Yes, Hermes is a Psychopomp. That's basically what I was saying. We have two Psychopomps and then the Spinners of Fate here. Definitely seems to indicate that there is some sort of transition or shift going on for you because of the fact that we have the Transitions card and also the Fate or Destiny card. There may be some sort of transformational change you're going through, and I think this is further emphasized by the fact that I've made like there's this sort of chthonic feeling to this reading, and the chthonic or the underworld isn't only associated with endings or death and things like that, but also about transformation and about rebirth, and how some deities have had stories where they have gone through the underworld and have come out the other side, and these are stories of transformation and rebirth. And I think that is reflected in this message as well for you, where Hecate may be indicating that there's a time coming, and particularly because of the mention of Psychopomp being guide of souls, she may be playing a part in this guidance for you, in the sort of spinning of fate for yourself and where you're going, and she will have a torch there for you. I think it's also really cool as well how in these two cards we see Hecate as the Psychopomp holding out the torch, and then we see Hermes here as well, like reaching out for it at the same time. So they're kind of like reaching for each other. There's a bit of a message as well, like in that imagery, to not be afraid to reach for her when you are going through change, when you may be anticipating change or transformation. Sometimes as well, we don't realize that we are going through a transition or a change. Sometimes we just think like we're coping with just life or like things going on. And so we kind of forget that these things can happen, like things can change, and a lot of us aren't used to that change, and so it can feel a bit funny at times. But you have supports around you, and you have more autonomy than you think in terms of what your destiny is or what your fate is, whatever your opinion of fate, or whatever your belief of fate or destiny is. I do feel like there's a very consistent imagery of a guiding light too. So there's like a light in the background of this card, a light for the torch of this card, and then the light shining here at the feet of Hermes. So look for any guiding lights as well, not only Hecate's torches, but those around you who are able to provide some direction for you. And this may even indicate that there is a direction, that you are aware that you're going, and an acknowledgement that things are moving in a direction. I have apple juice as well. How does that sound to you, Luca? Yeah, last week we spoke about sort of like your path, right? With her. I remember there was like the Unity card, Inalia, and then there was another one. The Herospire, Hecate, Inalia, and... well, there was another one. I think that it would be cool to see it in relation to that other reading that you got too. And sort of the ideas that might come through for that in relation to that path. What she might be sort of handing, or not handing out. Handing out is the wrong way to say it. It's sort of like displaying for you, or like holding and letting you see. I don't know if it's offering, because it's less about an active giving of and more of a here is something you can come and get. So sort of the movement of that is significant. That's okay, Duff. You hit enter too soon. True. Alright. Next on the list. Oh, you had to upload a photo of something and it cut out the stream. Yes, you are. And no worries, Luca. Our divination event is actually about, we're going to open quite soon. So at the Sanctuary of the Crossroads, for anyone unfamiliar with the Sanctuary of the Crossroads, you can use the command up here, Discord, !Discord, and it'll have a link to my virtual sanctuary of Hecate, where we are about to, thank you Lay, where we are about to host our monthly divination event across 3 days. Any readers in the server are allowed to offer free readings to the community, and then anyone can claim readings too. Oh, you're fine, Daph. You can take a second if you'd like. I'll just be promoting my server. Charlie loves the divination event. That's great. I just need to remember to do it. I'll be like doing it in the middle of the stream to unlock the forum, but it'll be fine. I hope we get some new readers for the event, because I think quite a number of people assigned the reader role, but may not do a post. We have 50 readers in the server. Imagine if we had 50 offer posts. You're tempted but have been scared. What are you scared about? What scares you about it, Itzy? Oh, I think people who take the role are readers. I just think that they may not, like some people, it's like levels of engagement with a server. Like some people might not engage as much with a server. They might just join it to look around, but they don't really participate in activities. I would challenge Dionysus to being loving live on TV. Yes. Which deck? The D&D deck or something else? And I did see that, Daph, which I'm really very happy about. I was saying really and very at the same time. Really happy about. Get anxious offering readings to new people. Ah, well, you can offer like 2 slots or something, and then you can see how it goes. Because 2 is like a little bit. Oh my god. Okay, almost dropped. Dropped the dicks. And I'm sure your readings are great. And you have a strong interest in divination. So I'm sure you have good knowledge of what you're sort of getting into. Oh, that's nice. Nice of you to say. I have looked at one of your cards, and it has like a list of divination methods you like. So I was like, oh, Itzy's someone who really likes divination and different methods and learning them. Also because you've been curious about oracular work before, and people who are curious about oracular work usually like divination. Oh, that is awesome. Well, not awesome that definitely is nervous, but awesome that Lay has seen some of that divination. Alright, here we are asking Dionysus for a romantic reading. Ooh, what's he gonna say? He's rolled up in a dark red velvet suit with black silk on the inside. So the you know, like the bit, it's not the collar, it's like the jacket bits, like on the chest, they're like flaps that are open, that's like black, silky black, and then like the jacket itself and the pants are this like really dark red. Yes, that word, lapels, lapels. The anatomy of suit jacket. Yes, that is the right word. And that's cool, the next day plan's gotta be on your birthday. Chickening out. Okay, these are really funny cards. Like positive, funny cards. We have the Six of Wisdom. He's saying stuff, he needs to slow down. I need to show the cards first. Four of Charisma. And the Knight of Charisma. Yeah, he's saying like there's so much stuff. Okay, let me try to do this one at a time. I feel like it's like, I wish I could say all of it at once because I feel like it would be better, but Yappa on deck, it happens. Better for me to be able to pick up on things that are being said than to have silence. Okay. Let's start from the start. The start is this card, not that card. I'm also going to change the song because I don't like this song. Sorry, it's like suspenseful because I'm trying to adjust the songs. Maybe some classical music. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Six of Wisdom. You show him an entirely new world. An entire world is created by the love that he feels for you. It's a new perspective, a transformation, something where it's like anything is possible in the world that exists within your love and his love for you. Because of this, he just wants to like give. Like if he could give you everything, anything you'd have ever dreamed of, he would give it to you. And sometimes there are limitations of what can be given, but if he could, he would. Because the Six of Wisdom is also the Six of Cups, and that is a card of innocence, but also generosity at the same time. Very similarly to the Six of Pentacles, which has a similar message around like generosity, but here it is rooted in emotion. It is rooted in the hearts, in love, in pure wanting to give. Not anything to do with transaction, not anything to do with a scale to balance. It is just taking from an infinite source, which is, of course, his love, is an infinite source, and just spreading it out and giving it to you, because if anything, it is that he wishes to give. He may not be able to give as much materially because of, you know, divine limitations, but if this is all he can give, he will, and he does. I find that actually really interesting and really cute, how it's sort of like that contrast between the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles in the way that he's expressing this desire to for you to have anything you ever wanted. Fourth Charisma is kind of made me laugh when I saw it, because this is like possession and like being possessive. So he's the dragon and you're the gold, right? And it's like the image speaks for itself. He's very protective. He is guarding his gold, and you're the gold. You're the treasure to him, and he has his tail wrapped around you, and you're not going anywhere. He hopes you're not going anywhere. Well, I guess he kind of knows you're not going anywhere because of what you've expressed previously, he says. But yeah, he does not want to let you go, and he cares so deeply about you. He is what is he trying to say? He's like, no one else can have you, but I guess like some people can, but at the end of the day, you know you're mine. It's like that. He acknowledges other connections you have, and even like it's not like restricting you from any other connection ever. Not even just romantically, like platonically and familiarly and like friendship based. It's like it's not that far. Like he's like, I'm not going that far, I'm not doing that much on it, but just saying they're gonna know that you're mine, like that. That's the vibe. This one's this one's so funny. It's like, other than the fact that he looks like Mike Wazowski, it's like literally this is the I see you card, and I'm like looking at you and watching you, and like the nice way, the cute way. He sees you for who you are, and no matter what, he will love all of you. No matter what he sees, and you never have to be afraid of hiding parts of yourself, not only because of the fact that he can see that no matter what, kind of. Not all gods are omniscient or omnipotent or anything, but it's like he's already seen you for who you are, and he sees the versions of your, like different versions of yourself, and he still loves them and loves you. And he wants you to understand this vision as well. And you know, it's a difficult ask to say, like, can you like see how I see you through my eyes? But it's sort of like that vibe as well, in the sense of see how I see you, or look at how I look at you. And it's, he says as well, like, you know this, you've seen the look on his face before. I think it's really funny as well, this guy's at a bar, considering Dionysus' relation to wine and fermentation and such. I think it's a nice nod to his domains. But yeah, that is your reading, which went much better than I expected, which I'm happy about, because I was nervous that it was not going to be that he was going to say something else, but he came through for that because you asked. Hello, the queue is still open. Feel free to join. You've had enough lessons recently. Sometimes what we think and what deities think are different, as you know. Anyway, you are welcome, Daphne. Thank you for asking. Thank you to Dionysus for being there for that. He did very wonderfully in bringing that message through. He kind of just went, and you did wonderfully at receiving everything I had to say. It was like layered, like what he was trying to say multiple things at the same time. So I'm glad we got through all of the things he was saying. All right. Are you around, Moose, for your reading? Yeah, the overlap. Slow down, slow down. Miss Knuckle Pum Pum. Yes, awesome. What reading would you like, and what deck would you like me to use? What's something you need to know? Okay, cool. We'll use this deck. Something you should know. Is it in any particular like area of your life, or just you want to go real general and see what happens? Also, going back to what we were saying before, Itzy, you should totally do the divination event. It would be really cool. Alright, let's get a general... what does Moose need to know, or what should Moose know? Got the 4th charisma again, but probably in a different context. I don't know, I just saw your name in the chat and I was like, I should emphasize that again. Because more people doing divination event, the more fun it is. Alright, so for you, Moose, we have... Oh, the Prophecy appearance. That's one. We have the Page of Intelligence. The 4th charisma is... Pentacles. 4th charisma. 4th Pentacles. Swords are intelligence. So this is the Page of Swords, Page of Intelligence. And we also have the Hermit for you, Moose. Hello, Gentle Monster. We do have a queue going on for readings, which is the ! Join command. You are currently 5th in the queue, so if there is something stressing you out, maybe a little while, so depending on your situation. Alright, so for you, Moose, what you should know. There is something you need to speak up on at the moment. We have the Page of Intelligence. I forgot about that, Lay. I forgot about that command. Okay. Okay, the Page of Intelligence. Something you need to speak up on. You haven't quite made a move on it yet, but you've been thinking about it, you've kind of been wondering if you should or not. Cards are saying, yes, it is time to use your voice, be honest about something, come forward about something. It could be related to finances, can be related to career or study. Also, thank you, Luca, for the donation. I really appreciate that. Since I have done a reading for you, you are welcome to re-queue. A command for what? Anyway. Charisma, Pentacles, related to finances, the material, can be related to career, related to study. So there may be a situation where someone is sort of blocking the way, or telling you no, or perhaps even just bringing their own opinion or perspective into something that prevents you from pursuing a path you want to pursue. So this could look something along the lines of someone saying, no, you can't take this pathway because we think of this and that about it. It could be someone physically like restricting something for you, being like sort of a gatekeeper in a negative sense from things, or in front of things that are blocking your way. It can also be, for example, if you're at work, someone at work stopping some sort of promotion, acting in bad, what's it called? Just in like it's not bad manner, but someone who's acting in bad faith, that's the word. A bad faith who may be preventing you from progressing, for example. And it's those sort of situations where you need to speak up and use your voice and not be afraid of, for example, snitching or being too assertive or bossy or anything, because there are some places and situations where it's better for you to speak up rather than stay silent. And these are situations where you and your development or your pathways are at a disadvantage because of someone else. To help you reflect on the situation or get a better idea of it, we have the Hermit. The Hermit is someone who usually carries a lamp or a torch. They don't necessarily know the entire path forward. They can't see the end of the road, but they do have a guiding light that will help them along their way. They can see a bit of their way forward just in front of them. And so in that case, even though you may not necessarily see all the way at the end, to the end of the path, you can sit with yourself and reflect, maybe meditate, maybe write down things, your thoughts on what's going on what you want to do, your different options, in order to take those initial steps that will transition you from just the page of intelligence to the Knight of Intelligence, which comes with movement and a plan. That is the message that has come through for you today, Moose. You're welcome. Best of luck with your situation, if there is a situation. Oh, just a thank you for the reading, Luca. Thank you. Back at you. I really appreciate that. Oh my god, Haniel, you stepped on the mic stand and knocked it a little bit. Ah, you didn't realize it would announce it. It helps me to not miss any. Oh, Haniel, look, Daph says I love you. She kind of just looked at me. Oh, Haniel, everyone loves you. Everyone's saying I love you. But yeah, it announces it in the chat so I can not miss. Because, like, it floats up, like, here, right? Like, it goes, like, woo, up on the screen. But then, if I'm not looking there and I'm looking at my cards, then I'll miss it. So, yeah, helpful. Alright. It's Charlie's turn. Yes, she is the Prophet Kitty. Oh, is he actually? That is so funny that he's in the suit. So you know what I mean. You see the suit. Hanya was amazing. Hanya was the goat. I think she's a cat, actually. Slash sarcasm. Alright. Let's see what Charlie wants a reading on. Aries reading. Any message that you've been missing. Okay. Any deck you would like? Any deck request? I decide. Yeah, let's do a poll. Alright, get my keyboard out for the poll. Oh, hi, Haniel. Yes, Haniel. Okay, let's see what decks. Which deck should I use for no names reading? And then I'll put a few options here. Alright, 2-minute poll. Let's go. Cast your votes. Okay, we got the first vote in. Not seeing many votes. 2 votes, okay. Three votes. Oh, hi, Haniel. You can sit down, Haniel, if you want. You want to sit down? Yeah, come here. Come on. Okay, you can just sit there. So for any Hecatane folks in the chat, we have Daepnon this week. What is everyone doing for Daepnon? And if you can't really do anything for Daepnon, and would like to anyway, I do have my project Bay Laurels for Hecate, where you can submit your name and I'll do a bay leaf offering for you on behalf of you for Hecate on Daepnon. It's free and somewhat anonymous because you don't have to put your real name or anything. I don't know if I have a command for that, so I might need to add one. But if you're in the Sanctuary of the Crossroads Discord server, it's under the services channel near the top. Alright, we have 2 winners. Okay. I guess you get 2. Okay, Luca's cleaning the room. Donating to a charity, low energy stuff. That's great. Donating to a charity is a very nice thing to do. And not something a lot of people get the chance to do. So it is a nice way to celebrate. Hello, Dream. Welcome back. I am good. I'm back home from house sitting, so I'm back on my usual desk, which is a lot more grey than my previous setup. Alright, for Aries, or from Aries for Charlie, any messages that they've been missing, he's been missing. First card is Surrender to the Flow. It's really cute. It has a ladybug on a something like a maple leaf. Okay, I wanted only one more card from this deck, but I guess we get two. Focus and act. And respect your boundaries. Amazing. Thank you for the live update, since I don't have Discord open, so that is amazing. Yay, claps. Alright, let me get a card from this deck. Okay, I guess the top card. You are your words. Have you had that card before, Charlie? I feel like you have had You Are Your Words. I'm excited that you added your listing, Itzy. Alright, so Charlie, for your reading, this is about... It's interesting because often with Aries, we get this idea of going like fast or like putting a lot of energy into something, or like just going and accelerating and, you know, zooming through and being this like really strong person in a situation. But these cards and this message that's coming through from Aries is actually a little bit different in terms of how you are using your energy, right? And how you are... sort of what you're channeling your energy into, right? Because he doesn't want you to just throw your energy everywhere just because, you know, you're inspired by him in that way. He, of course, has a lot more energy than we do as humans, and he may put that into a lot of things, of course, but it's not the same for us, and that's important to remember. He wants you to be able to... It's not like not do anything. It's not inaction in the way of doing completely nothing, but be in the present moment and understand that there are things that you have worked towards on your path that will come on your path, not because of luck, but because of skill or because of effort, right? It's not reaping rewards that come from a divine blessing. It's reaping rewards because of the work you've put in. And part of that is knowing when to be in the flow, which is our first card over here, surrender to the flow. And then it says here, focus and then act. And it's that and then that is very important, because you can't focus and act at the same time, or he doesn't want you to focus and act at the same time. He wants you to focus and then act. So by surrendering to the flow, it allows you to have a space to focus and have that time between focusing and acting. Because, as he brings up here, respect your boundaries. You can't just shatter your own capacity in a day, right? You can't tell yourself, well, because I'm doing this for devotion, I will just go for it and it'll all be done like within the day or overnight, or it will happen faster than is usual for me or make sense for me because it is for this purpose. Isn't necessarily that way. That isn't necessarily what he's asking for. Also, welcome back, Viv. Aries wants you to be honest and to speak what is important to you in certain situations, priorities and such, and to have that open dialogue in terms of not feeling like you need to, not feeling pressured to do something at a very like high intensity when it's not needed, right? It's like, it's a bit of a duality in that sense where, yes, it's about that output, it's about that energy, it's about putting into things, having a lot of effort, you know, going out there doing things, and at the same time him saying, if you don't if you're not in the flow and you're not focused and not understanding your own capacity and your boundaries, then how do you expect yourself to effectively use your energy? How do you expect yourself to effectively get things done? That is his message for you at this time. We still have the hang your butt over here. Yeah, not rushing the practice can be one of the ways this manifests, definitely. Because, you know, rushing into things and trying to do everything at once is not as effective, and he doesn't want you to do that because you might burn yourself out. It might not be respecting your own boundaries, as mentioned. Yeah, well, the reason I say it could be one of the way it manifests is because it's not always about the clear-cut practice path, so to say. It can be something that is a bit broader than that, or in ways that, as you said, you were asking for something you haven't seen. He's brought forward this thing. So it may very well be a multi-layered message where it's saying, what are you not noticing about things going on in your path, in your life? Yeah, may not just be the practice that you're seeing as going slow at the moment. Also significantly, the card saying you are your words. What are you saying to yourself or others that may be sort of going against what he's saying in these cards? Do never put up boundaries. That's not what you... You can't never put up boundaries. You have to use boundaries for yourself, even. For yourself and others and gods. You can have boundaries with gods too. Boundaries are so important for the management of your space, your energy, your time. You need to... This is what he's saying. This is what The fact that the card respect your boundaries came up and you're saying you don't put up boundaries, that's probably a very important part of the message, actually. Very important context. Alright, we have Liz LaFay up next. Let me know what reading you would like and what deck you'd like me to use. I do have a command for my deck list, so !decks, DECKS. Yes, spelling. If you'd like to see what decks I have. I'm going to quickly open up the divination events forum, because it's about to be our event and I want to do it between readings rather than during. Okay, let's see. Permissions. Everyone can send messages in posts. No, I am not familiar with that deity, unfortunately. Is there another deity you have in mind? Fertility god associated with joy and happiness. Oh, that's really nice. Or happiness following wherever he goes. Yes, Persephone would be better. I don't necessarily think, or I don't necessarily know if I can read with a Native American deity because I'm not Native American. I'm also not in America, so probably less of a chance to be accepted in that case. But Persephone I can definitely do. Do you have a particular question in mind? How can you better suit yourself to the path you desire? Alright. We'll get that reading going for you in just a second here. Alright, there we go. That's all set up. Keyboard away. Let's get into this reading. With Persephone, how can Liz better suit themselves to the path they desire? Oh, I thought that was only one card, but it was free. that in itself is likely a message. Things overlapping that may not necessarily seem like they are many things at once, yet you can even be mistaken at a glance, looking at things on your path, in your skill sets, in your experience, thinking them as only a singular way of being or facets, when there actually are many facets behind that. Definitely a sense of reassurance here as well. Like having the Queen of Swords strength and the Magician come out for a question like this is quite positive. So, better suiting yourself to your path. We have the Queen of Swords here. As you may be familiar with, the swords can be related to the elements of air and things such as intellect, communication, honesty, and truth. Being able to speak your mind, to cut through any... basically cut through things to get to the truth, cut away negative ties, things like that. And I think it's actually really nice how a queen has come up because of Persephone's position as a queen. And it sort of reminds me or makes me think in the sense of inspiration. And finding inspiration from her in regards to how she sort of holds herself or carries herself is a better way of saying it. How she carries herself, how she commands, and she also says like commands with sometimes not even using the voice. So how does your presence, your personality, your past actions reflect your ability to get to the point, get to the truth, carry a sharp blade that can cut through anything? Because being the Queen of Swords isn't only about an action you take actively, right? Or reactively to a situation. It isn't about a singular moment, but the history of who you are and your experiences and learnings that form the person that you are. It's a very interesting way of putting it. How she's putting it. Because there's an emphasis on not only who you see yourself as at the current moment in this very second, and how your perspective may be applying a lens of like judgment or expectation based on that, but how you have led up to this very moment and the moments that are to come on this pathway. It's recognizing, once again, as I said with the layered cards, your layers as a person and your abilities as a person, and understanding how they play part in the bigger picture for this. She asks, where do you feel not suited for your pathway that you desire? Do you believe that the path you desire is the path that desires you back? Does it desire you in return? You have a lot of things already. Like these two cards, they're wonderful together. And may not be very helpful advice in hindsight if you think of it in the way of you do have what you need, you have the strength that you require for this path you desire. The Magician being you have everything you will need for this path already, which is what I always tend to relate to the Magician card, is this idea of having every element there ready to be used. And so it's a matter of wielding them in a way that is cohesive, holistic, or brings you closer to your goal. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay, I did sneeze. Thank you. Yes, but recognizing your strengths where they lie as well. what materials you already have. There's no need to wait to pursue this path that you desire, or to see yourself as someone who is worthy of it, or is already skillful enough or suited. Which isn't to say that not everyone, like, it isn't to say that you're finished with learning, you're finished with growing. Everyone is always growing and learning. But that by understanding and taking inventory of where you are right now and what you have and all your skills, or your materials, or your resources, it will give you a better perspective in terms of what it is you might want to work on. Not because someone else is telling you you're not suitable, because someone else is telling you need to do this to be suitable, but because you see in yourself where you want to aspire towards. Because you've got a great foundation already. That's very clear from the cards. That is your reading. Oh, hi, Haniel. You are welcome. Thank you for requesting a reading. And I hope that it helped. Oh, nice. 8 of Wands. Fast movement, travel. Looks like you're on a good path, a good pace. Also, if you would like to come back another time for another reading, feel free to drop a follow. Thank you for the follow. Yay! Things are looking very good for you. Oh. Kameko, thank you for the tier 1 6 months in advance. Wow. Thank you so much. That is the most months in advance I've ever seen anyone subscribe on this channel. Omen's next. Oh, you're ready. I like how you're on it. Love heart. Thank you. For those who would like to know, Kamiko is my mum. So if you guys want to say hi to my mum, then feel free to say hi now in the chat. Regarding what he would like from you or expects from you after you move in a few weeks. Thanks for a special person. Ah. What would Loki like? These cards are taking a while. This is a funny card. Ritual. 5 of Strength is our first card. We'll get into it in a second. Do you already have an altar for Loki? Or like have had one? If you like had packed it down before you move? And a secondary question to that, do you have bones or skulls on your altar? Or have been wanting some? Or have considered some? Page of Intelligence again. We're having some reappearances of some cards. And we have Strength as well. Again, but a different deck. Not for Loki, no, but we wanted to get some. Oh yes, he would like one, please. This card is representing his altar that is to be set up in that new place. And he thinks that there will be room to have something like that. Maybe a skull, ethically sourced, of course, for your ritual space. I'm not sure how much spirit work he might be doing at the moment, but that might also be an avenue to explore in this after this move. Perhaps due to the location, perhaps due to space, perhaps due to like who you'll be around after the move. He'll get a whole sideboard for him and his kids and his partners. Wow. That is very great, very generous. Yep. He's definitely making some suggestions in that realm in terms of what he would like on his altar. And don't be afraid to ask him as well. I kind of like how there's multiple people on here and you're talking about like his whole family. Yeah, don't be afraid to consult his family, which you probably already are, but you know, about the altar and what to put on it and any new significant items that can lead to other avenues or expansions of your practice. So for example, like skull bones can be related to spirit work, and that might be something he wants you to dive into a bit more. I don't know if you do anything with familiars. Page of Intelligence sort of gives me that vibe as well, with the dragon creature on the side. So maybe if there's any, or it could be like mythological based creatures as well in Norse mythology, but I can see this sort of line with like familial spirit work. I'm also not sure if familiars are like a thing that's actually in your religion. You think you have an idea? Ooh, cool. And yeah, we have the Strength card here as well. that comes off to me as sort of this idea of working, you know, like working together on like re-strengthening, you know, and sort of what you just said in terms of once your health gets better, he's there for you alongside you in terms of your health getting better and seeing that through. And he is expressing that there will be a good opportunity for that going forward. Perhaps in this new space, it will open up a bit more your ability to feel a bit better sooner. And also just strengthen like your practice is what I'm hearing as well, like in a very general sense. Well, not very general, but not specifically just about like your health, about your practice. You'll have a chance to deepen it, to strengthen it, and get a even more solid idea of where you're going. How does that all sound to you? You have some ideas now. Yeah, you're welcome. You're moving out of a household that isn't the best and where have to hide your practice. Yeah, I had a feeling. Oh, I just got like chills reading that. Okay. Yeah, I definitely was feeling that. I was like, oh, Omen's moving somewhere that they get to practice. Like actually do things openly. So I'm glad my intuition for that was correct. Filger, guardian spirits or familiars in Norse mythology. Wow, that's cool. That was a great reading. I liked that one. Alright, Gentle Monster, were you still around for your reading? I am going to quickly respond to these requests for readings under my divination post. We'll see if Gentle Monster is still in the stream. Oh, just realized my little guy is drawing now. Thank you. Good night. Thanks for coming to my stream and subscribing for 6 months. I'm not sure if Gentle Monster is here. Oh. give it another minute before we move forward. Daniel, don't knock things over, please. Nope, I keep pressing that. I don't mean to press it. Thanks, Itzy. I'm very privileged in that sense to be able to have a parent who supports what I do. It's not something a lot of young people get. Alright, well, if Gentle Monster comes back, they'll come back. For now, we'll move forward, and hopefully they got the support they needed, whether that was through a reading or otherwise. What would you like a reading on, Itzy? I feel like I have a hair on my tongue and I don't know how to get it off. Do you have a request for a deck? It's like between her and Odin. Exclamation mark queer? Hashtag queer. Yes, okay. D&D, like we already have. We'll do this reading and then we'll do the angel pull for Daphne. Cool. Just responded to all the people who wanted a reading from me. That was super fast. I need to go through and see who I can claim from as well in a moment. Okay. Let's move this. Oh, also Daph, for your divination event listing, you can actually change the tag from open to closed if you'd like as well. In addition to the message you already sent in there. I wasn't expecting mine to fill instantly either. My one's usually quite slow. My one actually filled over. I was going to take 3 and I've taken 5. So I'm trying to get the hair that's in my mouth out. Also, has anyone here watched the Amazing Digital Circus? Alright, Freya, what would she like Itzy to learn with her? How do I pronounce it? Is it Sedur? Sather. Okay. Also, Itzy, your reading was so cool. Like, the offer is so cool. It's awesome combo. Okay. While I'm shuffling the cards, could you actually help define what that is? I have a vague idea, but probably better to have an actual idea for a reading like this. Hey Sizer! Welcome to the stream. Oh, there we go. Cards. Is a magic type where you learn to manipulate the web of, which are the lines of fate and destiny in a trance-like or meditative state. Cool. Hello. Awesome. That suits these cards very well. We have the Hermit. Woo. Hermit. But also the Wheel of Fortune. Literally the lines of fate and destiny. And the World. Also related to the lines of fate and destiny. It's like the cards have described what it is to me. The type of magic it is. But if we actually get into what the reading is saying about what she would like you to learn with her, then she is... So Aiden pops in too. It's sort of like this role of like a guide. So it's very practical. It's not like she wants you to learn something like it's not like theoretical, right? The answer here isn't theoretical. It's very based in practice, being practical. Because of the just in your face fact that we have the Wheel of Fortune and the world here, it's like you're actively doing it, you're actively practicing it, you're in it. Of course, practice with caution in terms of what you need to know before you get into things. Since I'm not familiar with the practice, I can't tell you need to know this first before you do it, but I'm sure you will have the research and guidance behind that to do it. But yeah, you can learn directly from what your guides are telling you, right? Not everything is sort of like by the book. You don't have to like read a manual for it. This sort of type of, at least from what I'm being told, this type of magic isn't always learnt formally through study, like a book, being studious. It's largely learnt by doing it and putting yourself out there. The experience, the mystery of it, the web of it is found through doing, through trance, not always through reading, right? Because at the end of the day, people don't, like the way people write about their experiences and stuff, it's not always going to be the same as how you experience it, and it shouldn't be compared to how you will experience it, because she doesn't want you to set an expectation for yourself that because this person did it in this way, it means it's going to be in this way for you. Just because this person prepared for the ritual in this way, is conducting it in this way, wearing these clothes, having these items, if that is applicable, or entering trance in a certain state, like it's not always going to be the ideal way of doing it, because everyone works differently. Everyone induces trance in different ways. Trance can be induced through a multitude of things. It can be deprivation of things. It can be consumption of things. It can literally be ritual. And what I mean by ritual, for those who don't really understand what that means, is you can set up an environment and a ritual, a set of actions, a setting up of a ritual can induce a state of trance. It isn't always, something that is really intense in terms of consumption or deprivation of something, which I guess you can technically, like, for example, if you're in a dark room with candlelight, that's depriving you of like light, which can help with inducing trance, but it's not like you're sleep deprived, for example, to induce trance. Yeah, there's very heavy like guide energy here, where Freya can be a guide that is there for you, is literally there and leading the way, telling you how to conduct yourself to navigate and engage in this type of magic. Makes sense. You got more clarity when you asked her and Odin about it. Yeah, it is cool. Trance-related rites and rituals and like practices are so amazing, and the way that we can actually learn directly from spirits and deities that we are practicing with is like mind-blowing. Ragnar was like, hello, learn from Freya and Odin again, please. True. They have everything you need to know. Of course, research is good, but they're like, you're already doing the research. We're gonna tell you something else about it. Trying to get into trance. EP. We can like make a... Actually no, I don't know. I was gonna say we can make like a trance channel in the Sanctuary of the Crossroads, but I don't know where we'd put it, if we'd name it like something else, if it'd include other things. Maybe like a channel that encompasses trance, meditation, channeling, astral ? Clair senses, like psychic abilities, like things going beyond the physical. I don't know. If people like that idea, then let me know for the Sanctuary of the Crossroads, because I just be saying things sometimes. Alright. Our next reading is with Dream. Are you still here, Dream? You're ready with your question too, which is cool. I like when people are ready. I do want to remind you, Dream, that I don't tend to do readings that are a bit future-telly or mind-ready. So it is a bit future-telly to see if you might get closure, if you're going to reconcile. It also is a bit mind-ready about how they feel about it. So is there a different question you'd like to ask instead that may not necessarily come at that topic from that approach? I actually just remembered, like, things like trance and meditation stuff that can be talked about in the Chthonic Caverns, which is our server. That would go in... Which channel would that go in? Oh no, I don't... It's not the love part. It's the it's not assuming that it's love related. It's because part of my boundaries is not doing readings that are along the lines of fortune telling or mind reading. So it's not necessarily about the person who's involved. I'm gonna ask Elle if we have a channel for trance meditation type of chat in the Chthonic Caverns. General message. Actually, I want this deck. Yeah, I was thinking the closest is planar travel, but that only covers astral, and trance doesn't necessarily go into astral. It can, but I think it's like an individual practice. We do have a channeling chat, so it could be that. But then also it's still not quite trance. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. My thoughting. Oh, you're right. You're right, Lay. Priority card readings. I forgot. Daph has one, Omen has one, and Lay has one. Okay. Okay. You reminded me. Let me do this reading first, and then I promise we'll do all three of those priority readings. Because I got sidetracked. Okay. We'll do it right after this. If in the meantime, Death and Omen, you can let me know which deck you want me to use. Lay, I'm assuming your one would be with the Oracle of the Hecatean Path. Yeah, Transwork is its own thing. Because we do have in a different server I'm in, has a trans channel. We have a Transwork channel, but yeah. Maybe I can suggest it to L. I don't know if I'll ever talk about my trans practice in there, but it'll still be cool to have the channel. Hi Mira. Hello to you too. Alright, so for you Dream, we have these 3 cards. I'll show you the art on them. So this is the Angel of Tears, the Angel of Choice, and also the Angel of Innocence. So the Angel of Tears is about vulnerability and how sometimes you need to move out of your comfort zone and explore how things may turn out, even if you have to be vulnerable, even if you have to feel some emotions that are not ideal a lot of the time or all the time. Also understanding the moments where you do feel a bit more down and where that comes from. For example, are the situations where you may be receiving comments that you may comments like people saying things that you may not necessarily like or even agree on about yourself. Yeah, that there's still that feeling of dejectedness attached to them. Is there a way that you can recognize that because these feelings are attached to statements made by people who don't understand who you are or what you do or anything like that? Are they worth the tears in a literal and metaphorical sense? It's good to be able to express and use expression as a way to let go of things. And even that idea of letting go isn't only, it doesn't only exist in the idea of letting go of something that is actually a big thing for you, but also being able to let go of the idea that other people can determine your expectations or your perspective. Because not a lot of the time, but sometimes you can trust your own perspective of yourself and your situation more than what other people are saying about your situation. Because Angel of Choice comes in. I think that is very suitable. And I think it's this idea as well that just because you may feel certain emotions, like feeling sad or feeling angry, doesn't make you that isn't entirely who you are. To be sad doesn't mean you are a sad person. To be angry doesn't mean you're an angry person. You are a person who's experiencing these emotions. And sort of that attachment leads to the sense of having a choice, more of a choice for yourself. There's always the opportunity to make things happen, to change things. You can't always, it's sort of like this balance of you can't control other people. You can't really... Sorry, I just got distracted by the comment. I'll try to answer that in a second. But you still have a choice. You still have autonomy. Angel of Innocence. Allow yourself to rediscover your innocence, what you find happiness in, what choices you want to make for yourself, where you want to see yourself going. Sometimes that little bit of nostalgia or innocence dropped into things and seeing the world in an innocent way, not assuming the worst of other people or making assumptions based on past experiences, that can be helpful. It can help allow you to make the choices you need to make, and also to feel the vulnerability or allow yourself the vulnerability that is being asked of you not by anyone in particular, but even just for yourself. That is your message. So Chaotic Aphrodite, you're asking, do you know what happened to Potnia Theron on TikTok since you were friends with them? Are you asking that because they haven't posted in a while, because they haven't been around on Discord, or like you've been trying to text them? Yeah, just be you. You don't need to be someone else for others because I haven't posted in a while. I actually don't know. I've messaged them a couple times, but they may be like busy or not able to engage as much on TikTok, because I do think they're still around. Like they've changed things on their profile and stuff on Discord, and like their username and like things like that, because they do that sometimes. But they haven't replied to some of my messages in a long time, so they might be occupied or not have the energy at the moment. Yeah, I've messaged them too and they haven't responded, so they might be going through something. I'm not sure exactly, so I can't say, but yeah, I've noticed that as well, so hopefully they're okay. Okay, let's not forget these priority pools again. Unfortunately, I don't have a Michael deck, and I hope that one day I can get one for not $1 billion and for an affordable price. I have a Raphael deck and I have a Gabrielle deck. So there's those. I could technically do a pull from this one. It's a tarot deck, but you know, I would say it still counts. And this one, which is the one I just used. Alright, let's do a pull from Raphael to Daph. What would he like to say? Change physicians. Okay, you can go a bit deeper than that. Change physicians is a card about how someone you may be going to may not be the best person to treat your situation. Could be your actual doctor, could be a different context of a doctor, could be someone that you're going to for like healing help, whether that's formally or informally. But he is suggesting at the moment to make a change. So, yeah. Is that relevant to your situation? Hello, Gummy. It's going well, thank you. It's absolutely awful, but I've just stuck with her for months even though she doesn't listen to me and has caused medical issues. I think it's time for a change, Daphne. I think Ref wants you to change. My Instagram is at It's Quinn Lee. That is my author Instagram, but it's my most active Instagram. I do have an Instagram that's at the Crossroads of Tarot, but like I haven't posted anything on there except for the fact that I was a collaborator on a post about a lecture I was presenting a few weeks ago. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, It's Quinley. If you want to follow me on TikTok, then you know that, but if anyone else wants to, it's at Crossroads of Tarot with a full stop between each word, I think. That's an interesting way to ask for a reading. Okay. Omen, you wanted one from this deck, correct? I think that is actually the perfect card to have gotten for your situation, so you should heed the advice, Steph. Alright, so one pull for Omen for this one, then we'll do a pull for... Okay. Who wants to be a new moderator for my chat? Who wants to be promoted to moderator? Okay, you're getting a deaf because you're the first one to say it. I think you can. Okay, it's you get mod 2. You can someone mod the person who's spamming in the chat, please. And by mod I mean get have them leave. Okay, your card pull Omen is 2 of Wands, Jeliel, Love and Wisdom, Victory over those who would attack you. I think that's really nice. I definitely say that's a message from Michael as well, Archangel Michael. Love and Wisdom, Victory over those who would attack you. 2 of Wands is also a great card in terms of new path. Yay! Alright. You're welcome. Thanks for claiming. That's the wrong deck. Alright. Lay, are you here still? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was getting bored of the lo-fi, so I kind of put on classical music instead. Present and accounted for. Okay, let's do a card pull from the Hecate Oracle. Itzy has one too. Alright, this one's for Lay. Sweet Tater, Savior, Salvation. That is your Oracle card pull. And then let's do one for Itzy since we have the deck out. Okay, I guess you get 2 because 2 came out. You get Propylaya, one before the gate or sheep before the gate, Guardian, and Nyctera or Nycteria of the night, secrets. So these are for Itzy. Amazing. All right. The only thing about these oracle pools is that I get tempted to like try to put a meaning to them or explain them, but the point of these oracle pools are that they're not meant to have like deep interpretations, because that's what the main readings are for. Also, Viv, let me know what you'd like a reading on. You've been very patient. The oracle card pools are a viewer reward, so if you look at the viewer rewards at the bottom of the chat, you can claim a card oracle pool for 1,000 channel points, which doesn't take long to get. Yes, I shall close my queue. Good shout. I think because I showered, I feel like less tired, but I see the time, so... Also, there's a meditation event in 9 hours. Okay. Gotta have a reading from whoever comes through. But also sleep. Real. Alright. Your reading today is going to be of Odin. He did in fact want to come through. Like, he was kind of like wanting to come through the other reading, I think for Itzy. Politely. Politely, and by politely I mean he did want to be called upon for a reading, and then he probably knew that Viv would, and then he's like stepped up now. He's ready for it. Yeah, the Hermes one is Hermes meditation is in 9 hours. I just had to double check. Oops. Okay, well, you get this one. My bus driver Hermes. Kyade Aphrodite, please refrain from sending the Q command too frequently. You will get pinged when it's your turn. So it'll tag you. I also don't do readings that fast. It won't go that fast, unfortunately. Right, Odin's message for Viv. You got the 6 of Wisdom as well. Three of Intelligence, Three of Swords, Six of Wisdom, Six of Cups, and the Sun. Okay, so this one is somewhat of a comfort reading for you. He's acknowledging that he understands that sometimes certain projects can feel like you're putting things out there and you're not getting enough back. It can feel like you're trying to throw things at the wall, yet you're like wondering, what are you getting back for it? It's sort of like this feeling of like heartbreak or even betrayal of being told that you might get something when you haven't. And that's sort of where this Three of Intelligence comes from. This expectation, which is perfectly valid. He gets that you're waiting and wanting, because that's what we do. The Six of Wisdom has popped up once again, was in an earlier reading, and as we know, it's this card around generosity, around giving and engaging. And I think what's particularly interesting is the idea of the book and imagination coming into it. So it makes me think of mythology and sort of how you've been doing things for him based around mythology and storytelling. He's giving a little bit of advice, question mark. He's saying something about like interpretations and how you interpret things, not in a negative way, but like not being afraid of bringing your interpretations and like literary analysis, I guess, to things, like more of it, because you sort of do that already in what you do. But it's like, even in your off time when you're not just like making content or telling other people about stuff, it's about not being afraid of engaging with the law in your own way. Maybe even if that's like meditation, and like you read a story and then go into meditation and then see how it comes through in that arena, right? And how you might interact with that law because you intentionally go out of your way to try and figure out if there are more interpretations to it that are not just annotating a book. It's not just looking at the words. It's in a way spiritually experiencing what this mythology and law is. I find it interesting as well with the Six of Wisdom, which, you know, again, Six of Cups, that has the children on the card, because the sun here, we have the sun on the right away as well. On the sun there's the baby, so there's a lot of like innocence and young energy here, and maybe him even wanting you to know that he doesn't expect you to have it all lined up right now, and he does see you as someone who he can guide and take care of at the same time, right? And give to, like as like a father to a child. He doesn't want you to think that he sees you as any lesser because you are finding your feet in some places and also seeking your community and figuring things out. And, you know, like you're learning, right? You're advancing, you're learning, foundations are being built, foundations are being strengthened. He doesn't want these pursuits to be things that you dread. He doesn't want you to dread them. He wants you to care about them in a way that is because you are motivated, because you appreciate what it is that you're doing, right? He just wants to remind you of that. Like a reminder that to make you cry. He doesn't want you to think it's a lost cause, what you do, and everything plays a part in it all. And one day you are going to look back and see how much it has played a part in unique ways, right? Ways that we don't expect. Not everything is linear. Not every path is clear. But he does want to say that he likes your enthusiasm. He likes your commitment, your devotion, and he wishes to acknowledge that for you. That's your reading, if I didn't say that. Yeah, wholesome reading. You are the one who like kind of gets funny readings sometimes, where like you get the ones you don't expect. It's like a bit of a trend for you. We do love wholesome. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, is this something you already do? Because he was coming through with it and I was thinking, this sounds like a really cool practice. I'm not sure if he's saying like you already do it and to do it more or to like start it. But yeah, engaging in that way would be epic. You are welcome. Thank you for requesting the reading. Alright, now it is your turn, Chiare Aphrodite. Aphrodite. If I pronounce the letters correctly, the syllables right. Let me know what reading you would like and if you have a deck preference as well. This classical music is going ham in the background. Chiare Aphrodite, are you still around? And let me know what reading you would like. I hope I didn't accidentally banish them, because I did not mean to. I need to get a new chair at some point because sitting in this chair for too long makes my butt hurt. Because it's not a very ergonomic chair. Epic gamer chair upgrade. Maybe. I do need one with a good back on it and like a bigger seat part, I guess, to support my legs so they don't get sore. Do you have any suggestions? I don't know if you do. I don't know when the last time you bought a chair was. It's now. It's your turn, Chiara Aphrodite. Let me know what you'd like a reading on. But if you mean that if the message is coming up, then no, I don't see a message from you. You need a bigger seat as well. You can't do the proper Asian cross, right? No, it's not coming up in the chat. You might need to change some of the wording if it's getting censored. If you find any cool affordable chair sizer, then send me the links because I would be interested in seeing. Alright, so you'd like a message from Hecate? What does Hecate have for you? What message does Hecate have for you? Okay. I'm glad it came through. I didn't realize that like Twitch would censor things and I wouldn't be able to see that they censor it. So we have the devil first. Sounds like she might be working through some unhealthy attachments for you. And helping you to recognize any parts of your life that may not be serving you well, or maybe perpetuating bad habits. Temperance as well. Okay, interesting. Temperance, moderation. Understanding that it's not about the denial of things that is important, right? So any of the things that encompass the devil in this situation between you and Hecate for your, or like, you know, for your path, she isn't asking you to completely cut things off when they're not good for you, right? Not everything works that way. Some things work that way, not everything. And if it's not about cutting things off entirely, it's about temperance, how you moderate things. For example, if you are wanting to work on your chocolate intake, you don't have to stop eating chocolate forever. You just have to be careful of, or not be careful, but sort of be aware of when you are eating chocolate and how often you eat it and what quantities you eat. It's sort of like that. Okay. Eight of Swords. Self-limiting beliefs. Things that are keeping you trapped. It seems like Hecate is calling you out at the moment a little bit about some things that may be self-restricting you in terms of trust, in terms of not taking the right steps that you need to take before you get into something. So like doing appropriate research, finding the right people to talk to about certain topics or learnings is what's coming through. Also this idea that you need to be at a certain point in order to learn things or to do something or to apply things that you're learning in practice. There could also be tendencies of wondering why something isn't changing or why something keeps happening. And in this way, it can sometimes be like a case where we can feel a bit stubborn in terms of changing anything on our end because we believe that it isn't on us to, or it's like it's not an us problem, it's a them problem. At the same time, you can only do that for so long before you do start to adjust some habits or some ways of approaching, even just for your own sake, even if you don't know whether you're the one who's meant to or is at fault, etc. You can break yourself free from the swords as well. There's that option, and you don't have to wait for anyone else to do it for you, which can be a really empowering thing as well, a good thing as well, to see how you can actually break free from the swords and use them for yourself. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing a lot of work that she's wanting to do with you or is doing with you. Could be shadow work or adjacent things. Could be about people, pathways, pursuits that you're taking that need to be cleared out at the moment. Perfect time for it too, for the new moon. That is your message with Hecate. You are welcome. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for requesting a reading. The overall message is that Hecate is helping you at the moment, working through some perhaps bad habits, bad attachments, or unhealthy behaviors or thought patterns. Things that may require a bit more moderation in that case, so a bit more balance in how you're approaching it. It's not about completely cutting things off. It's about understanding how to embrace things in moderation. And it's also about removing self-limiting beliefs. So understanding that you can take a move, you can make a move without someone else doing it for you or telling you to. You have the ability to break free from your own constraints. She's both helping you with this and also advising you in this reading to focus on these things and to move through them. That was the overall message. These videos also go up on my YouTube channel as VODs, so you can always listen back to the readings that I do for you. Alright, Gummy Pop, are you still around? And what would you like a reading on? In general, what you need to know right now. You're prepared. I like it. Very nice. Oh, you came from TikTok. Wow, that's a rare source of people coming here. That's awesome. Thank you so much for checking out my TikTok and for coming here and popping in. Oh, thank you so much, Queen Luna Starlight. It's a way that I only started this year, actually. So it's not a thing I've always done. It's a very recent, very recent thing I've been doing. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? You sound like someone who does readings as well by your username. Alright, Gummy Pop. What you need to know right now. Oh, there's so many cards. By so many, I mean 4. 3 major arcana and 1 minor arcana. Still practicing, you wanted to see how others do it. That is a great idea. One of my number 1 pieces of advice when other people are trying to learn tarot is to watch other people doing it and listen to other people doing it, because you can pick up on things. Alright, Gummy, looks like some foundations are going to be shaken up some point soon. I'm trying to like hold the deck in a way that covers the light like from shining all over the cards. Alright, so your first card is Ace of Pentacles. So there's something that you've been working really hard on. You've been working on it for some time. A lot of resilience involved in this project. The cards would like you to know that there might be something shaking things up at the moment, shaking up the foundations. The Tower doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be the complete disaster, everything's destroyed card. But it can refer to things being shaken up and some sort of event happening. We also have the World here. So the World is about completion, things coming to an end. And then we have the Hermit here again. We've had the Hermit a couple times in this reading. So something you need to know right now is that there's a project you've been working on recently. Ads. Okay, I'll wait. I'll write in the chat that I'll wait. We'll see when they get back. Okay, back from ads. Cool. Welcome back from ads. There is a project that a project you've been working on for some time. Something you've been putting some consistent effort into. Something that, takes a lot of resilience and persistence. You're going to be seeing a change, a transition, a change in terms of this project. Things are going to seem different. It's going to seem like, oh, well, why is everything, I don't want to be as dramatic as saying falling apart, but like, falling apart. Foundations being shaken, I keep saying, because that's the main thing I'm hearing with this, is foundations being shaken, expectations being changed. You're going to see a completion that you may not have realized was coming for this project. Maybe it's coming sooner than you realize. Oh, thank you, Omen. Have a good day. Thank you for coming into the stream. Oh, Prophet Kitty says bye too. Don't keep showing your butt on the camera. Yeah, I would say that actually. Because of the fact that you have the World and the Hermit here, it definitely makes me feel like it's a situation where it's something, you didn't expect to happen, but it's happening for wrapping something up. So like the World tells me it's like a kind of a good end. Like it's not an ending you expected and may not be fitting to your current expectations, but is one that does wrap this project up or this path up or whatever it is up into a neat bow to in order to venture into a new pathway or a new direction. Because the Hermit here is telling me, yes, your guides will have the guiding lights, the lantern, in order to bring you to where you need to go. Yeah, in terms of your uneasy energy, you can trust that it will take, like you will be taken to a place that you need to go, if my words will come out. It can be career education related because of the fact that we have the 8 of Pentacles, and Pentacles are related to things like studies and career, as opposed to like emotion or some like passion projects or you know, something like you're writing, for example. So yeah, Pentacles is associated with that. 24 admissions. Yes. You can trust your guides that you're going to be taken in the right direction for your admissions. Yes. And I wish you the best of luck, because I can understand that it is an uneasy thing to feel. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for requesting and for being very kind. Oh, Haniel. She ran into my mic stand again. Lurking is all good. We're up to the last reading for the night. The official Richie, if you're still around, let me know what reading you would like for... Well, yeah, your reading. What reading you would like. When asking questions for tarot, are there some kind of rules? Well, one of the things is that it can depend on your boundaries and your reading styles, and it can also be good to have specific questions sometimes too. So, I guess in a more broad sense, if you ask a vague question, you can expect a vague answer. If you ask a specific question, you can expect a specific answer. Stuff like that, because sometimes we get frustrated, like we do a reading, say like, oh, tell me what I need to know, which can work sometimes. But then if you want to know something specific about a certain situation, your cards might pop up something completely different, and then you get frustrated with the cards for not telling you what you want to know, but then you didn't tell them what you wanted to know, right? You can ask yes and no questions, you can ask open-ended questions. So for example, if I wanted to do like a yes-no reading, and that's a yes. There we go. The world I associate with yes. You can do open-ended, as we've been doing as well. You can do just mundane questions. You can use them as a spirit communication tool. For myself, I tend to avoid like fortune telling. So like, sorry, I got distracted by the question. Let me read this. How everyone feels I'm doing it at the minute with the current situation. Is everything going to be okay? And I'm not going to lose what I've been to keep hold of. That does sound like a difficult situation to be in. I hope my answer was sufficient for your question, Luna. I was essentially just going to say, like, you know, if you don't want to do like mind reading, which, you know, trying to read someone's mind, then yeah. Is everything going to be okay? For you, Richie, you've got two pretty good cards actually. So the Seven of Wands is interesting because, of course, it looks like this person is having to defend their ground. They're fighting against these other ones. But something about this one, it applies to your situation, and also the fact that it came out with the Six of Wands, which this deck is definitely not in order. So the fact that they came out together is interesting. It's encompassing this idea that a lot of what you might be fighting with internally can come from your thinking, sort of like, how do I explain this? You don't need to worry as much in terms of how everyone feels, like in terms of what everyone else feels about how you're doing, because the very idea of trying to work that out is what's affecting how you feel at the moment. Because with the 7 of Wands, we don't actually see who this person is fighting. We just see a bunch of wands and this person trying to defend against them. As opposed to a card that is, for example, I believe the 5 of Wands, where we literally see like other figures using wands to hit each other, right, to attack each other, a group of people fighting. Whereas here, there's an absence of these people. And so it can represent how our expectations of what other people think of us are actually what causes us to feel like we're not on like a good standing, or we're not being recognized by these people for what we're doing. Which is interesting that it comes with the 6 of Wands, because the 6 of Wands is telling you that you will receive recognition, positive recognition for what you're doing. Not finding out what's going on is I'm scared of losing my relationship, worried about the impacts. No worries, Viv. Thank you for coming along. The duality of these cards are to say that, because it's not like you're literally fighting anyone. The point of it is that you're not, and the cards acknowledge that. But it can feel more nerve-wracking because of sort of where you're placing yourself in this situation. The unfortunate thing is that I can't tell you if your relationship, if you're going to lose it or not. That's not in the purview of what I do for my readings. It's in my boundaries and my about section as well. I don't fortune tell. I also don't mind read, and I also don't usually do relationship based readings. But I want to tell you through these cards that there is going to be a turn for the better, because it's the 7 of Wands followed by the 6 of Wands, and that transition from feeling like you need to fight and defend yourself is actually going to turn like it's like expectation versus reality. The reality is that it's going to be okay, because the 6 of Wands is a celebratory card of recognition. That is what I can tell you. And I do hope things work out for you. You're welcome, and I wish you the best of luck going forward, because as I mentioned, it's not an easy situation to be in. Thank you for your patience as well. Alright, well, that brings us to the end of the queue and the end of the stream. So thank you so much to everyone who joined me tonight with readings. I am EB Sleepy, and I have a meditation to do in the morning, or to host in the morning. So this is where Oh. Diffusion, thank you so much for the raid. And thank you for the follow, Moonscryer. That is really funny because of the fact that I'm about to go raid someone else. But thank you so much for trusting me with your people, nonetheless. Thank you for the follow, Queen Luna Starlight. Yeah, double raid. We're gonna go raid someone else. It's a train. Because I'm about to go to sleep. Thank you for the follow, Diffusion, and thank you for the raid. Let me do the shout out command before I raid. Oh, thank you for the congrats. Thank you for helping me get there. That's awesome. Goal met. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Let's go. I hope you had a good stream, Diffusion. Do you stream tarot as well? Yes, you do. Cool. I'll follow you back. Yes. Alright. Well. Amazing. Okay. Yes, you go get some food and edit a video. Let's choose who we're going to raid. Alright, let's go for... We'll go Ace again. It's raiding time. Alright, thank you everyone once again. Have a great day or night, and I'll see you again next week or on Discord.